In the ancient Arabian Peninsula, survival was dictated entirely by what you could fight for. Scarcity was the baseline, and extreme violence was the norm. Raiding a passing trade caravan was rarely seen as a criminal act. It was a viable business model for nomadic tribes desperate to feed themselves. Setting out with goods meant risking everything. A single journey across the dunes could end in a massive payday or leave you dead in the sand with nothing to show for it. If a tribe couldn't guarantee their own physical safety on the road, building any kind of lasting, large-scale economic prosperity was a statistical impossibility. There was exactly one major exception to this violent rule: the Quraysh. They operated a massive, untouchable trade network. Every winter, caravans traveled south to Yemen, and every summer north into Syria. Immune to attack, the profits flowed safely back to their central hub of Mecca, creating a sprawling regional monopoly. In the south, they tapped into wealthy, established commercial centers to trade spices and textiles. Up north, they accessed the massive urban markets of Greater Syria, cementing their status as the undisputed lords of regional commerce. So, how did a single tribe manage to move fortunes through a desert full of armed raiders without ever taking a hit? And what dangerous psychological illusion did all that wealth create back home? The Quraysh weren't immune to raids because they had the largest army. Their protection came from what they controlled. They were the custodians of the Kabah in Makkah, a physical site recognized across the entire Arabian region as an absolute spiritual sanctuary. Even the most violent nomadic tribes held this sanctuary in deep religious reverence. As a result, they extended that same reverence to the Quraysh as a diplomatic shield. Attacking a caretaker of the Kabah was culturally unthinkable. Their sprawling, untouchable commercial empire was literally subsidized by the spiritual weight of this single structure. Over time, the Quraysh made a massive miscalculation. They started believing this culturally guaranteed safety was proof of their own inherent superiority, completely forgetting that it was an unearned divine privilege. This arrogance is exactly what a brief, piercing chapter in the Quran, Surah Quraysh, was revealed to address. The text confronts them directly. It reminds the tribe that it is the Lord of this sacred house who has fed them against hunger and made them secure against fear. It exposes a massive contradiction in their society. The Quraysh were eagerly cashing in on the economic benefits of the house, while completely ignoring the actual lord of that house. They embraced the prosperity, the protected trade routes, and the flowing wealth, but entirely rejected the one who provided it all. The surah levels a direct accusation of spiritual theft, consuming divine gifts without ever acknowledging the true giver. That ancient indictment holds up perfectly when we look at how we pursue security today. We assume our well-stocked pantries, our safe neighborhoods, and steady incomes are entirely the result of our own intellect and relentless hustle. The surah's logic suggests that if you benefit from a system of safety you didn't personally create, you inherit the terms and conditions that come with it. Receiving these gifts as unearned divine favors creates a corresponding spiritual debt. Taking the full payout of this arrangement while ignoring the built-in obligations is a significant moral failure. Secured from hunger and fear, the human mind moves out of survival mode, gaining the bandwidth to pursue a higher spiritual purpose. The Quran lays out exactly how to pay down that spiritual debt, through active, conscious gratitude. This is far from the modern idea of gratitude as a passive feeling of being thankful. The surah issues a direct, rigorous demand: let them worship. True gratitude is a verb. It is an active surrender to the Creator and a deliberate alignment of your daily life with His truth. It challenges us to look at our own bank accounts, our locked front doors, and our next meal through a completely different lens. Material wealth functions as a divine trust. Acknowledging that source through daily, lived devotion is the only way to fulfill the purpose of our prosperity.